All right, man, peace. Most of you brothers most likely know this by now, but the NBA is basically a subsidiary of the Council of Foreign Relations, which is a major globalist faction that utilizes major organizations like the NBA and other sports leagues to try to court people into the quote-unquote global family. So that's one of the main reasons why the NBA has been all in on foreign-born players being exalted within the league. And that's one of the main reasons why you're going to see Luka Doncic being promoted so heavily. But they also know that in order to keep the overall attention of the globe, of the world, they have to have the focus on a quote-unquote black American basketball star. Because pop culture is normally based on the spiritual energy or resonance that emanates from the so-called black man. That's where Zion Williamson comes in. And also John Morant to a degree, but primarily Zion Williamson. Those three players are going to be the players that the league is going to focus on. Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, and Luka Doncic. So you have, from a spiritual perspective or a three-dimensional perspective, the spirits of the Most High or the forces of good against the forces of the light bearer on the left-hand side, that being Luka, or little Lucifer as I call him, number 77, do as thou wilt. And you see a certain mischievous component within his personality starting to be brought forth as they cultivate who he is as a person. But either way, the focus of this video is going to be on Mr. Zion Williamson and what the NBA's plans will be for him. I'm not going to go too much in depth. I'll probably save that more for a three-dimensional evaluation or assessment of what they have planned for him. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to note that right now, this is a very pivotal time period in Zion's career. He made major strides, especially when it comes to his impact offensively. How is he going to take his game to the next level? Of course, he's going to have to expand his scoring range. He's going to have to become a better defender and also a better rebounder. I also think that they're going to have to consider moving other players from the team so that they can focus more on him. One of the players that, in my view, has to go is Mr. Brandon Ingram. He just has to go. And to me, every generation, there are awkward players. When I say awkward players, guys who can score, but they're never going to be the top shelf player on a team that has championship aspirations. They don't have it, that it factor. Zion has it. Luka has it. Ja Morant, to a degree, has it. Brandon Ingram does not have it. No, he reminds me a lot of like a Glenn Big Dog Robinson type of scorer. He'll give you 25 empty points. Like, it just doesn't make a difference. But anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
I want to shift gears now, guys. Zion Williamson helped erase a double-digit deficit to the Cavs Sunday. 38 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, led the Pels to a 7-point win. Zion shot 16 of 22 from the field. But after the game, Pelicans coach Stan Van Gundy said, "You get so spoiled with Zion because he set such a high standard that I don't think this was one of his better games." Then you look at the stat sheet, and woo, he had 38, 9, and 4. And even though I know he was tired out there, he put...
Really what Stan is trying to say is that, you know, I set a high standard for Zion when it comes to things other than empty stats. This is Stan Van Gundy's way, in a roundabout, fake nice way of saying that, yes, he put up a bunch of empty stats, but he didn't do what I needed him to do when it comes to things that might not be noted on the stat sheet, that had he done them, we wouldn't have had to come back from down big. Stan Van Gundy is one of those people who just chirps in your ear and gets on your nerves and eventually gets ran out of the organization that he's being employed by. He's a lot like what Doug Collins was back in the 80s and 90s. A very good coach, but he just gets on people's nerves after a while.
Put up those numbers, Perk. What is your reaction to Zion's performance?
Well, Rachel, look, he is must-see TV. He's the future face of the NBA. And I get it. He don't pass the eye test, right? He's 6'6", with this bulky frame.
That's whack body, what I call it.
Did you just call somebody?
I know, but look,
say somebody had a bulky frame?
When I say that.
Hey, Richard Jefferson always trying to piss somebody off, man.
Says I'm talking about. You don't look at his body; he's not ripped up like a LeBron James. Yeah. He walks like he have 2 left feet. But guess what? The people down in New York.
Well, shit. So does LeBron. LeBron walks like Daffy Duck with them 2 slew feet he has.
baby, they got something special in him. This guy is so special. I love what Van Gundy did by moving them to the point forward position. He cannot be stopped. They got something special in Zion Williamson. He's the future face of the NBA, period.
No, I agree. Like, his numbers. Now, again, I think some of the, like, look, we see the dunks, we see this, but we thought it was going to be poster after poster after poster every night.
I don't mind him only averaging 8 rebounds per game as long as his assists go up. Because if his assists go up, then we know that he's being more effective as a distributor and he's bringing more offensively. But if he's only going to average 5 assists a game, the rebounds have to get up to around 10, 11 rebounds because he's not a great on-ball defender. But at least if he's a great rebounder, we know that he's stopping the other team from getting multiple possessions. That was a part of the impact of a Charles Barkley, who also was not a great primary defender against his man. But due to the fact that he was cleaning the boards, he was averaging 12.5 to 14 rebounds per season, per game, per season. That took away additional possessions for the other team. So in that way, he was an impact player on defense.
That's what we saw since he was like 16.
Right.
But if you look at his game, it's actually, there's a lot more skill and there's a lot more like technical stuff that he's doing that should be appreciated. And look at his field goal percentage. This dude is taking tons of shots. But the one thing that I worry about, and I don't want them to get into it when he's playing the point forward, is
when you have a guy out there averaging 33 points per game and he's shooting 62% from the field, it's not a regular 33 points per game. It's almost like another player averaging 40 or 42 points per game because it's opening up the possessions for other players to have scoring opportunities.
people started guarding Giannis. This is great in the regular season. This is great in certain moments, and he's going to put up monstrous numbers that can look like MVP numbers. But if you don't have a quality offense around him, he doesn't have the jump shot. So what they're doing right now with him is very similar to what they've done with Giannis. They put that ball on the top of the key, they let him go bully and play, and then he distributes to guys. That's not a great offense.
Yeah.
He's got more of a jump shot than Giannis did that young in the league. So he's got
right now
a start. A lot of those high shot percentages or those layups around the basket. He is the most dominant around the basket since Shaquille O'Neal. And that is, my friends, saying something. All right, let's take a look at...
But anyway, that's basically it on that, bros. We'll see how things go when it comes to the marketing of Mr. Zion Williamson, because I have very little doubt that there's more than meets the eye to what they have planned for him. So peace.